I'd like to share something on how my Golden Knights play their style of hockey and why they're so terrifying to play against. It's just, it's something that nobody does right now more than just the Golden Knights do. Everybody in hockey right now is trying to reinvent the game. They want more speed, more pressure, chaos, and more offense, more counter punches. And then there's my Vegas Golden Knights. What makes Vegas terrifying right now is they are not trying to reinvent anything. They are playing the exact kind of playoff hockey that has won a Stanley Cup since 2010. They are that brick wall that progress slams into and just can't get beyond. You see, they are protecting the middle. They are moving as five. They are supporting the puck. They are defending first. And then when you said and done, they punish the mistakes. And tonight, Colorado exploded out the gates early with 3 goals. And how did Vegas respond? They responded by scoring 5 unanswered, doing the same things that, frankly, nobody wants to do anymore. And that is staying disciplined. And honestly, I think there's something very uncomfortable about that in these playoffs right now, because no matter how modern hockey gets, no matter how aggressive systems become, playoff hockey will always drag us back to the old truths. That structure still works, especially in the D zone. And John Tortorella has this Vegas team completely bought into this right now. And they are bought in not just tactically, but they are bought in emotionally. They are hyper committed to what Torts is selling. And by the end of the video, this will just clearly all make sense. It's a huge problem in the NHL and why this style is so hard to sustain long term, and why you see many young teams, especially late in the playoffs right now, totally abandoning this style. This is the entire game. The entire game right now. That whole Colorado game, the Avalanche, they were creating chaos. They were just making offense. That whole first period was all Colorado. And then my Knights, they stayed patient. They stayed patient. They stayed disciplined. They just knew that they were still going to win. That's part 1 of this. And also, so the kind of offense that Colorado plays on their style, that's what makes Vegas so terrifying right now. Most people do not survive this when you're playing a team like Colorado. Colorado still wants to have a wide open game with speed, pressure. They want to punish turnovers. Like Vegas, they want to stay disciplined. And then they want to control. And then that little sequence is such a perfect example of why they're up 3-0 in this series. Because Vegas settled the game emotionally, and then was early unsettling right away. Colorado starts getting dragged, and then you see Vegas moves on 5 consistently. They support, they're strong consistently. They are always one to stick lengths away from every puck consistently. It's short outlets, it's layered defense, it's traditional hockey, and frankly, sometimes it can look boring at times, but the uncomforting part is going to explain to you that simple hockey is very hard hockey. It takes a veteran mindset and a dedication to play for a guy like John Tortorella, who is going to force you to play this way. If you don't play this way, he'll bench you. He'll bench the best player in the league. He doesn't care. You'll play the way in the D zone, no cheating for offense, no freelancing, no squirting out for breakaways. You just saw this whole game, and that's why it's happening in this series, that the games slowly look muddy and they've been dragged into the sand. They also look inconclusive. Sometimes they can even be tough to watch, but it will also work if everybody trusts the structure and buys in. And then this leads into chapter 2, the work zone, the fast zone, and then this as the D zone, neutral zone, and then the offense zone. And it's where the Tortorella angle gets interesting, because structured hockey, you start thinking boring hockey. And that's what I said. It can look boring at times, but the difference is Vegas actually does attack with freedom when they get into the offensive zone, when they finally cross its red line, sometimes in the blue line. Depends on the coach, and I don't know Tortorella personally. They get the freedom to attack with creativity and then that virtual, because players need to be able to use their skills, but the difference is freedom is earned. It is earned through the working hard and working zone in the D zone and playing fast in the neutral zone. Then you get reward with the fun zone. Example, we crossed the red line, now it was open, and then they take a shot at the net, and then Keegan Colasar tied it right in front. I mean, the creativity starts, it was all, there was just so much pressure going on in that second period by Vegas. This is what I mean by it's only one, or by when they're trailing by a goal or two or three. It's just so interesting how they play. And then all of a sudden the game looks fast for a moment, it turns over, and it feels like the puck could have been in the back of the net. There are so many interesting parts about this Vegas team on how the structure of how they play their style of hockey to where nobody else plays in this league anymore. And that is why they are a team that is always on a mission to winning hockey games and playoff games. It's kind of and that's why I'm very happy, to be a fan of this team, because they know what they're doing. They know how to play. And I'm going to catch up to you back on the next part. So that is what I mean about the structure, creativity, and staying connected, aligned with one. And then there's nothing boring about what we just saw tonight. It is incredibly structured set, play with the maximum freedom attached to it. If that isn't fun hockey, then I don't know what is. Then you're watching the wrong game. This team feels so dangerous right now. The structure, this is underneath everything they do. The structure is allowing them to create offense and have freedom at moments in the game where a player has to be dialed into when I'm free, and then these guys know it. They bought into exactly what Tortorella has said, as he said in the last chapter, that beauty of it come out, and then now about what these modern teams struggle against it, nobody plays the way Vegas does. Nobody plays the way Vegas does. And then that's why I'm not sure how I would say it. Yes, that is why teams get so exhausted and worn out when they play against us, because we play the old school style hockey. The old school style hockey and the disciplined style hockey and the best defensive style hockey. As to where it leads, when we try to get into the neutral zone, when we're ready to create some offense, when we do the old school part where we're coming in to the zone to try to make a play to try to score a goal, the guy would either pass it back to another player, and then what happens is the opposing team, Colorado, they're still on that guy, and then the one that has the puck skating in the back, it creates all the open space on the other side of the ice to have an opportunity for Vegas to try to create some offense and get a shot on net. And then that's how this team works, and how they play, and nobody wants to play that. They're playing modern hockey right now, they're all trying to, kids, they dream of playing all the kind of hockey that they dreamed of playing, with chaos, scoring goals. Everyone wants to score goals. But you also got to do what is right, and that is how you win the cup by the way Vegas plays. My Knights play. So I just wanted to shout that out on this quick video, and I hope you all enjoyed it, because we're 1 win away from the Stanley Cup final and 5 wins away from the Stanley Cup for the second time in 4 years. So I'll have y'all